you for joining me once again. Thank you for watching this video. So let's go ahead and get into it, okay? So the book I am going to review today is called The Streets Have No Queen by JaQuavis Coleman. And here's the cover of that book. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, well, let's see what this is about. So this is the cover of the book. Cute, cute, cute. This is a short story revolving around these players that have a role in a one-night stick-up job. There is a man called Blessed at the center of it all. Blessed is a man with more than one face. He is the nerdy guy that seems harmless, and then there's the side that is ruthless and cunning. Blessed has money, and there are some people that want a piece of his pie. Then we have Fonz, and he is a repeat burglar that went through a reform program while incarcerated. Fonz wanted to get on the straight and narrow after being released from prison. However, with the number of children he had and a sick mother, he needed a come up quick. Then there's Red. He is a hitman that has fallen off. After a car wreck, Red hasn't been right in the head since. Red's paranoid and controlling behavior has kept his girlfriend Shelly captive. Now, Shelly is Red's woman whom hasn't left his side. This is not always by choice, though. Shelly is held hostage by Red's fear and control. Shelly thinks if Red had the opportunity for a come-up, he would snap back to the man she once loved. Now, those are the key players in this one-night stick-up job. And the author did a very good job of providing the backdrop of how these characters got to this point. And as always, you will have to read the book to see how all of them play a part in this stick-up that would change their lives. Since this story is short, like 3 hours long via audiobook and only 126 pages in the physical copy, I can't share much more than what I already have. Okay? This would be a great weekend read. It is, I guess you could say, under the urban fiction category. It's pretty much a street life kind of story. It will keep you interested in how the dots connect and how things play out. And I will say the ending was a, oh, snaps, what? Kind of moment for sure. There is a passage from the book that stuck out to me that I'm going to share. And it says, sometimes a woman holds on to a man for what he used to be. She is so desperate to restore the old feeling that she sacrifices the now and loses herself in the process. Ultimately, the now ends up being the rest of her life. Now, I had to marinate on that. Like, how many people stay in a relationship hoping for who they fell in love with to show back up? Okay, let's not all talk at once. I'm sure you may have either encountered it yourself or know someone that has been through this. Oftentimes, I've said before, the representative is real good. The representative of a person reels you in. That's who you fall in love with. And once they got you, that representative goes away. And then the real person comes out. And you're like, hold up, wait a minute. Who are you? Like, where'd the person I fell in love with? Where'd that person go? Like, who are you? Yeah. That's when you know that representative, whew, they could pull one over on you if you're not too careful. Some thoughts I had while reading this book, which could also be a great topics of discussion, um, is persons that are incarcerated have an opportunity to better themselves, get a GED, have college courses, go through a trade training, all at the taxpayer's expense in an attempt to reform the inmates. I remember having a conversation a long time ago about this, and a comment was made that stuck in my mind. And the person said something to the effect of, how is it that a crime is committed and the inmate can receive free college education, a trade, etc., and the average citizen has to pay thousands or go into debt for that same type of education? And how fair is that to be rewarded for being a criminal? It's like the criminal will have a leg up on a good portion of the community by the time they're released at that rate. Which, that perspective caused me to think about that for a minute. Like, yeah, they committed a crime, but yet they get a free education while they're doing their time in the hopes that they'll go on the straight and narrow when they are released. But the average citizen, yes, has to pay a lot of money for those same trades or levels of education. It doesn't seem fair, does it? Also, there was a comment that once the inmate is released, they often find it harder to acclimate to life outside of prison and find it harder to go on the straight and narrow and often end up committing the same or similar crime. So is it really reform or just a setup for recidivism? Does the person become more knowledgeable and polished so they can do a better or higher level crime the next time? There's also the topic of relationships and how life events can cause a change in a person. What are changes you can and can't live with? What links would you go to for a chance at bettering your life or the life of your family members? Is the criminal activities and street life worth the possible consequences? Just something to think about. I did listen to the audiobook version, and so I was a little bit confused when I skimmed the actual book. To my surprise, there was another short story included in the physical copy of this book, and it's called Cubana. So if you get the physical copy, you get 2 short stories. So I went back to my Hoopla app and checked out this extra story, Cubana, so I could listen to it. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. I think I've read that, which I had, and I gave a review for it in March of 2021. So check out that review to find out what that second short story is about. It is Cubana, and I did that video back in March of 2021. So just scroll through the book reviews that I've done and you'll find it. And if I remember correctly, it was a pretty good book too. It was a pretty good story. There are some triggers, such as death described, a few sexual encounters. There is also a depiction of mental health, illness, and a physical health condition that, could possibly trigger you. I did give this book a 10 out of 10. I loved it. It was a great, short, weekend read. It kept you guessing as to what is going on and how is this going to play out. And I will say, how it plays out will have you like, what in the world? Like, what? So, if you have read the book, tell me your thoughts. I want to know what you think about it. If you haven't read the book, go ahead and get it because it is a quick, juicy story. I did come across another review I did back in August of 2010 that I will share as a bonus before I sign off on this video. That book is called The Hot Box by Zane. And I wrote on my Facebook page the following. I said, if any of y'all have read a Zane book, well, you know the deal. I read the book in one day, if that tells you anything. As always, Zane comes through on the grown and sexy. However, if you read carefully, there are some underlying issues that are brought up. Great book and highly recommended. On to the next one. So, I will have the copy of the cover to this book added to the video as well. So that's your extra bonus. Put on your to be read list, possibly, if it piques your interest. And so that's it for this time. So as always, it would make me very, very, very happy to have you subscribe, click like, share, tell friends to come on over and check me out. Look through all of the videos to find something that will pique your interest and hopefully entice you to crack open that book and read it for yourself. So until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.